Hello and welcome to the Garlic Bread Brigade podcast, episode 57. My name is Mike and I'm here with Sam.
Yo, what up, guys? It's been a while, but we're back, cruising through the first month of the new year. Is it
I mean, we're close to the
currently?
end of it.
Yeah,
We're almost at the end of the first month.
that's right. That's right. As of recording of this video, we're about to go into the second month of the year,
Yeah, in a
2024.
couple of days.
Time sure flies fast, dude. It was only like nearly a month ago. It was Christmas, and now everything back into that grind. Everyone's like, doing all their work
I mean,
grind,
it was
school
a month
grind.
ago.
Uh, what would you say?
You're like, it's nearly a month ago. I'm like, it was a month ago.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
everyone's back
mean,
on that on that mission. Like everyone's now like, oh crap! Like all the Christmas food. I need to go and like lose weight because like I put too much pounds and too much like muscle
kilos.
mass, or not muscle mass, but the opposite of muscle mass. Flabs.
Fat.
Yeah, basically. And then there were all these people like, oh, like I got too relaxed over Christmas. I need to get back into like work mode. And then there'll be people like, oh, like I unbounded my like schedule. I need to go back to a scheduled mode. So everyone's like, this is like the month where like, in my opinion, where like everyone like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like,
Was transitioning.
yeah, it's like the transitional period. Like, if I don't blame anyone that like gets a whole bunch of things wrong this month. Like, I don't blame anyone who says like, who like sits there and it's like still thinks like 2023. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I guess.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then people saying, oh, like that happened. Like people when people like because like now like things that happen like in December would actually technically be happening the last year. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and yeah, and you sit there, it's like, oh yeah, that happened last year, but we're not talking about 2022 now. We're talking about last year would be 2023.
Right, yeah.
Right. And then like, yeah. So like it's this weird transitional period. I don't know. Some people adjust to it really fast. Some people, like take the long route and are a bit slow. But that's why for me, like when with all my friends and family, I call this the transitional phase. Like I'm like, yo, I don't care how many times you mess up, just mess up now, and then like once February starts, like you guys should be like good to go. You know what I
Yippee.
mean? Well, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know how many like other people opinion. Maybe like obviously there'd be like there'd be like so many people who like have to be strict. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, such
I
as
guess.
people in high positions. Like that would be the only people that I think would be strict. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, well, it's like, it's new calendar season, I guess, or
Right.
whatever.
I'm talking about
They
like
just have to
I'm just talking about
adjust.
like like I'm talking about like people in high position. You know what I'm talking about? Like as in like the prime minister here, like the governors and presidents, and like all these other people, like lawyers and like legal experts have to know like like straight away. You know what I mean? Because like if the case carries over, you know what I mean. You have to just know. Do you
Yeah,
kind
you
of
just
get
have
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
aware.
Yeah, it's exactly
Yeah,
exactly. But there's those that have to transition so much faster than pretty much.
other people. I
Yeah,
guess. I
exactly.
guess they get used to it.
Yeah, maybe they do.
I don't. For me personally, this time around, I just found it much easier to just transition. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's good. I found the transition period also easier. Like it took me like a couple days, and I'm like, cool.
Maybe it's because I wasn't just because when you're usually at school or university, you used to write in the date or something. Maybe
Yeah,
because I'm not doing that anymore, I
yeah, but
just
like
easily grasped
you
onto it.
wouldn't start like technically here in Australia you wouldn't start school until next month. Is it the summer period?
True,
And
but
then
like the end
university
of
also
it,
doesn't
you
start till
just
most universities here, unless you're taking summer courses, they don't start till like March. So like
March or
at that point, like
February.
there's no way you can't. You are still if you're writing dates, you're writing like the previous year.
But like muscle memory almost, if you get what I mean.
A muscle memory,
Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, 2020. Oh wait, it's 2025, not 2023.
I reckon that it's gonna be weird, right? Yeah.
Weird. What?
When we get to the point where we transition from a 2-digit year to a 3-digit year system.
I get what you mean, but I think we have a long time to prepare.
Right. But I'm just saying, like it's gonna be really, really weird, like because like the reason why I say this, right, and it might not be weird for older people, right, because like
Well, like the
I mean, because
19.
like look, I'm not the oldest guy in the world. Like I've only been in double digit like years, but then there's like people who were like you know like uncles, aunties, and parents, grandparents, and co-workers and all these other people who are probably like older and like they've been in like 1990 whatever, right?
Yeah,
So you sit there and like like we're at dates like you go 222, you know what I mean? It'd be weird because like it doesn't like some people write 224, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be weird because you can't just write 222 anymore, you know what I mean? It has to be 223 or 224. You know what I'm saying?
224, 223. Yeah. Why 22 though?
No, it's
Can it be
day
two
month,
four two
day
three?
month, day and month are both
Oh,
two. Like you know what I mean? Like there's never three. Like the days don't go 100. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
so that's two two, like two, right? Day, month, or month day, depending on where you're underworld, right? And then the other bit, it can't be two anymore because like if you write like 20, it'll be like 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or are you talking about 2000 and 2120? Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. That would just be
Right,
two two
exactly. So then it
four. I
becomes like,
guess.
do you write 120 or you know what I mean? Obviously,
To be honest,
in like system manufacturing and all this type of stuff, like in technology, they'll always use four dates because like even if you say like 120, they'll be like, what is it 19120? You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
like 1120, not 19. But
I
yeah, like
mean, to be honest, you'll be supremely lucky if we even like make it to that
no,
issue.
no,
To be honest,
true, like true. Unless like
like
technology
we have to
advances so
last
hard
how
that they cry
long?
freeze us. Um,
Yeah, we have to last like all that time.
yeah, but like I
Then,
mean, like maybe
yeah,
cry freeze technology gets there and we get cry freeze.
cry first. No, no, never
Yeah,
know.
and like like
Rather not think about it
yeah.
though. Personally,
Anyway, like outside of that tangent, uh, yeah, like let's just chat what we've been doing the past few weeks or however long it's been since our last
I mean,
episode.
it should have been 3 weeks, but then we.
Yeah, like yeah, we delayed the podcast episode last one. But it's fine.
Yeah. So
It's
technically, it would
fine.
have been 3 weeks for us, but it would have been like 2 weeks
Yeah, it would
for
have been three
us.
weeks from the recording, but we posted it
Yeah,
2 weeks ago. Completely fine.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, nothing much. Just chilling, playing video games, working, watching anime and
Recording.
stuff. Nothing too exciting. Like
Try to find a job.
job hunting. Yeah, the difficult market at
Yeah.
this stage. Uh, I don't know.
At
Nothing
least
too
two jobs
exciting.
emailed me back saying, unfortunately, you have not been chosen. At least I got responses. I don't know. Haven't had earlier. So I mean,
Yeah. It's because like
something new, I guess.
it's like the worst period. I reckon like earlier is the Christmas period. That's where like no one is hiring at that time
Yeah.
because of the fact
At
that
all.
like let's say all your most of your staff go on holiday or whatever, blah blah blah. So like let's say they do hire a new worker during that time. Like who's gonna teach if like half the company goes on holiday?
True.
Right, exactly.
And it's
Uh
also usually there's barely any work or way too many
correct.
work.
Yes, there's those
So
very
it's
well.
like, yeah.
Yeah, well that
So
depends
there's
though.
no point.
That depends. Like so there is like loads of environment who are like the Christmas crunch. You know what I mean? There are loads of
Oh
work.
yeah, but there is a lot. Like I mean, it could. There's like two scenarios. It could be a lot of work or not work. No, barely any work, basically.
Correct. Yeah, like that's
But
right.
even in those two scenarios, there wouldn't be a point to teach someone because you'd either have no time or you have so much time
Exactly.
that there's no point. It's like there's nothing to do. There's nothing to really teach.
That's
So
right.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Any other exciting thing happened? I don't know. We'll talk
I don't
about
know
it. There's been a few like interesting uh, g- game
things.
news
I
which
guess
we'll talk about. And of course, for me, the most interesting was Genshin. Uh, as a trailer, but I'm not going to discuss that. But yeah, if you play Genshin, you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. Pretty cool. Um, Aside of that, nothing much. Just been like it's been like super chill, super chill. Just
Yeah.
getting back into that grind, as I said earlier. But yeah, super chill. Anything of note interesting for you? Anything you've done that's interesting?
Um, not much.
I've
Just
been recording videos as well.
grinding.
Back into that groove as
Yes,
well. Just
slowly but surely. Yeah. Whilst doing personal stuff.
thanks.
I don't know. Everything's been chill unless you're living in the cup world, but other than that, everything's been kind of chill. You know, just getting back to the
Yep.
work, getting back to life. After all the partying and Christmas and New Year's.
Yes, yes, that's
And
right. That's
yeah,
right. Okay, now
yeah,
we will be discussing something which is one of the game releases I mentioned. One of the big success stories of 2024 already
yeah.
is Power World. Um,
Let's
woo.
go.
Um, Power World is a survival game with creatures that you can catch, and they're called pals. And yeah, it's got like a whole bunch of stuff from all these other bunch of games, which they they used, which is completely fair because I always encourage games to get the best elements of other games and just build upon it. So that's cool. Um, yeah, and Power
Yeah,
World is a crazy game that like we'll pull up some statistics in a bit. We'll discuss that. But yeah, it's a crazy game. Everyone's talking about it. Every single YouTuber who pretty much playing it. It's all over streams, pretty much.
it's all over social media
Mm,
basically. It's been taking over.
yep.
I mean, who would have known having like Pokemon with guns and I guess a bit of Ark survival elements involved would have took the world by storm. But I mean, hey, it's a fun game, and it's like what? It's not that expensive. It's not. It's like $30-$40.
Oh,
Not
it's
bad.
not that expensive. Not bad.
And they're already like prepping for stuff because it's still in early
Right.
access, so they're still adding
Correct.
stuff.
It's
So
early
like, yeah,
access. Yep. Um, yeah. No, this game looks wild. Yeah.
and they've been doing very well.
Right.
You want me to say the
Well, we
statistics? I
call.
guess.
It's also like a big game. Like, and then like this is a multiplayer game, a survival game. Like it brings in those type of fans. It brings in like the fans of Pokemon, like people who love like Pokemon games or Pokemon esque games. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like like it's it just brings all these people. That's why all these you've got all these different like people that want to play this game. And and then like not that expensive. It's only gonna get better. So like more and more people, and then like it spreads. It's like oh, it's so good.
it's like word of mouth kind of thing.
Exactly,
It's like
exactly,
it's a
exactly.
great game and whatnot. Kind of reminds me of like how Puss in Boots, how it kind of popped off because of word of
Right,
mouth.
right, right.
This is
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of the spot for games at the moment.
Word of mouth, and it
Yeah.
attracted a lot on social media.
It's actually like it's like lethal company actually. Like people were doing stuff on it, and then people were seeing it, and then more people just
Mm.
kept playing it.
Yeah, it's like Among Us.
It's like a it's like Among Us, but it doesn't play like anything like Among.
No, I'm just listening to you. All right.
It's like it's literally Ark, but with Pokemon with
Yeah,
guns,
yeah.
and
That's
it's
that's legit. It like
hilarious.
yeah.
And people are molding over it for some reason. But you know what? Who cares? It's a fun game. If you like it, have fun. It's so fun.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like how old at this moment is they've hit 7 million sale figures. Uh,
yeah. In 5 days,
Remember,
that's pretty good.
this is sale figures, so this does not include people who own Battle Pass because apparently it's free on Battle Pass.
Oh, you mean Xbox
Yeah,
Game Pass?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. So I'm
yeah.
just
My friend
talking.
told me about that.
We'll
I
talk
wasn't
about
even aware.
we'll talk about
So
we'll talk about like the sale figures, right?
yeah,
I would like to know how many accounts created because tell us that will like what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because the account created
Uh,
would be higher than how many sales figures. Because like let's say let's say I don't know how many people own Game Pass, right? Let's say like a couple million. It wouldn't be all million would play it. You know what I mean? It'd probably be
Right.
like I don't know how many. That's what I'm saying. Like if yeah, but like sale figures are crazy. That's good. Um, yeah,
They I don't know how many because it's really hard to check how many people are playing on Xbox clearly,
right.
but
Obviously,
like
obviously. But if you get
it
off Steam,
peaked
like yeah, like
it
they're like
peaked with
number one in so many categories.
1.85 million
Yeah.
players peak. That's second highest apparently.
Yeah. Dude, the game is
So
so crazy
damn,
that it had server issues. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, what we're saying, it's a good game.
it's a good game. Though clearly it wasn't really built. I want to say built to handle it, but they weren't expecting all this like
Yeah, like, obviously,
rave.
yeah.
So and even they already made a roadmap for the game, so they're already like
Dude, the social media managers, like,
doing stuff.
as soon as like every single time it hits, like, oh, we have to make a new post. Oh, no. It's like they're working overtime.
Yeah.
So, and then
But
everyone else
they've
is
already
completely.
put like a roadmap of what they like prioritizing and all that. And that's pretty good.
Yeah. They were
Like
just.
bugs and congestion and all that,
Mm.
which is neat.
Yeah.
But
Any
as a guy who's played
other
it for like 15
stuff
minutes, it's
on
fun.
Power? We might do a video on
Yeah,
Power. Uh, maybe.
I've already recorded something on it myself, but
Yeah,
like,
so
yeah, we'll
we'll
see.
see some we see some crazy stuff. Yeah. Any other thing?
Uh, if you like a game, look, if you like any games like Pokemon esque, you'll probably like this game. To be honest, try it out. If you want, you can always just
Yeah,
refund it
if you like
anyways.
Among Us, I'm at
You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you like a,
I'm
if you like
joking.
Among
I'm
Us, you should
joking.
play Among
I'm joking.
Us.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Even if you like Ark, this game runs
Yeah.
better than
Obviously,
Ark. I
yeah.
swear. This game, Ark, you need like a
If
supercomputer
you
to
like
play that.
Genshin, you should play Genshin. I'm joking. I'm just
Is
joking.
this what going to be the meme for us? If you like this game, play this game. But nah, you
if
know
you
what?
like gacha
Congrats
games,
for the
you don't
devs,
want to play
I
Power
guess.
World.
I guess.
There's no gacha element. No, I'm just
No,
messing you
but
guys. Just
actually,
messing.
good job on the devs. You made a good game, and
Yeah,
top it
yeah.
off. Yeah. Alrighty.
Yes. So another thing we want to talk about. Another thing that's taken the world by storm. In my opinion, for a stupid reason.
I agree.
The Stanley Cup. So
The Stanley Cup.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, right?
Yeah.
I sit there. I hear someone saying, I heard I heard a few people that talk about, oh look, I'm got a Stanley Cup. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's like that big a deal, right? But then I sit there and then I go on like Twitter. I'm not calling it X, Twitter, and then I sit there, right?
Yeah.
And then like Elon Musk is smiling at me, and then I close Elon Musk out of Twitter, and then I'm just scrolling through, and then I see like Dick Serto put an article saying like some kid was being bullied like for having a fake Stanley Cup. And bro, it's just a cup. Everyone's comment section is like, bro, it's just a cup.
But just a
It's
cup.
just a cup. It's just a cup. Like, dude, back in my day, right? You were
Yeah.
cool if you had like a tin cup.
Yeah.
Right, but like it wasn't even efficient, fam. Like that thing in like the scorching sun here in Australia, like that thing would burn. But like
Yeah,
you
I
were
think
kind
it's
of
a
cool.
wrapping cloth.
Yeah, like that you were kind of cool, right? But then you sit
Yeah.
there like I realized this. Or I had a tin cup when I first entered school, but then like later on, I was realized like this is kind of like stupid. Like I just go get like a what's it called? Like I can either like get a fresh bottle of water because like buying, I think buying like packets of water as like cheaper, more value than like buying a tin cup.
Probably.
Because like you sit there and you wouldn't even waste too much money because you have like the high quality tin cups, and then you sit there like, yeah, I'm not purchasing those. So you purchase the cheap one anyway.
Yeah.
So like I'd rather purchase like the water bottles, like right.
Yeah, true. Because like the cheap ones aren't going to really do much. You're
Right,
not going to really
exactly.
fill the
And like
water or keep the water cool.
once I've used up the water bottle, right, I can either refill it or like just grab another one and just throw that one back into
Yeah.
the recycle. You know what I'm saying? And like
True.
if I do throw away, like it's at least like a fresh water bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like water, fresh water, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas in here in Australia, like the tap water is actually pretty good. So like even just filling up with tap water is completely fine. You know?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, with these new cups like the Stanley cups and all that, you gotta have to fill them up with something,
Yeah,
no?
no, yeah. Well, even
Because it
tin cups
doesn't
back in
come
the
back
day. So
with.
like at the end, like
Yeah.
after like my first couple of years, I sit there like, why am I still using this tin cup, right? it's like I sit there and then like I just started bringing in a plastic bottle, like like and then like no one really cared afterwards. But then like it became like everyone had a tin cup when I first entered. Everyone had a tin cup when they first entered school, and then at the end like
Right.
it'd be so rare, and then you're like, oh, whoa, you got a tin cup? It's like yeah, it's like oh, that's kind of cool. It's different from the norm. Like it was the norm, and then it
Yeah.
transitioned to like not being the norm as I grew up in the years. But nowadays, like well, not nowadays. Now I'm seeing like people are buying a Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, like I didn't really care. Like you guys do your own thing, but then once I hear like someone's being bullied, I'm like, why,
Why? And the
right? And
people are
then
just
like,
buying it for the designs most of the time, anyways.
but that's not the
Like they
point.
just
Like,
have it
yeah,
on
I
the
know.
wall.
Other than the fact that like the Valentine's Day one is reselling at like 200, 300, $400, whatever the price, it's
Yeah.
insane. And then people were saying that we're lining up for hour like 4 a.m. just to go get a cup.
Yeah.
And then I
And
checked
then
it
there's
out.
like
Like
fine
I
all
checked the
that.
price in Australia. It's like it was expensive. Like
Yeah.
when I say expensive, it was expensive. Like off the sale, it was like $50 or something. I'm not paying $50 for a cup.
Yeah, no.
There are so many better value things I can get for $50 than a cup.
True. Actually, genuinely true. You could for you can actually get quite a lot of stuff for $50. But like a
That's without
cup, just a
shipping,
singular
by the
cup,
way.
no.
I don't know how much it would cost for shipping. And
That's
fifty
a fact.
dollars is
Wait,
the
the
cheapest one,
ship?
fam. By the way, cheapest. I think
Does
the
it get
cheapest one was
shipped
50.
as well?
Well, it was an online
Damn.
purchase.
Oh, it's online. Oh,
It was off the official
bro.
Stanley website, fam. Like that's what I'm saying.
But if you want a bottle, just get like a 2 liter bottle or something. I don't know. Like those I could see worth because they're big, and if like you're doing stuff like exercise. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like but
These
those are
bottles,
I call those
I'm not
the
sure.
gym bottles. You know, you sit there, you take it into gym,
Yeah.
like you sit there and you actually like calculating, like sometimes like the what's it called, the trainer or like the doctor will be like, oh, like drink like this amount of water each day. Like you get that one bottle because like that way like you like keep track, right? Whereas you sit there, it's
Yeah.
like I don't keep track like of like how many bottles or how many cups of water or how many whatever, like you know what I'm saying? Because each time,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, like whereas this you keep it's 2 liters. Let's say you sit there and your goal is to finish it. At least like you'll finish it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just decided to do like a quick search on why it's like like what's the benefit of a Stanley Cup just out of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pure curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to just keep your drink cold. That's literally the point.
Or everything's supposed to keep your drink cold. They
Yeah,
all
I guess
say it.
so, but it's like
No, I'm
I
saying
mean,
like
I don't know, bro.
as in like it's just a slogan, fam. Like, well, I don't even know like how
Like
like
if it
well maybe
doesn't,
in other countries, but like here in Australia, the heat is so hot. Like I don't know if anything keeps the drink cold in this weather.
yeah. I don't know. Just, I don't know, just because it's just been like a crave recently, and it's just
Right, but like I said,
like
like I don't care, right, about your grades. Yeah, I care when like what's it called? There's an article saying like, oh, like kids are getting bullied because like, well, technically, right, like yeah,
yeah,
like the school is like what's it called? Like the school's supposed to enforce technically. I was reading this online somewhere that was like in school, especially young kids, right, have
yeah,
like have their own freedom of expression and they're supposed to express whatever they feel, whatever you know what I'm saying. So like,
right,
let's say you bring in a bottle and like, oh, like this is the bottle I brought in. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Are you really gonna be bullied for that? You know what I'm saying? Or
true, yeah,
let's say like what's it called? Like it's in like uh I like you go you sit there like you know what I mean? Like I don't even know, fam. Like it could be a whole bunch of different reasons. Like I bought this backpack with my parents or whatever, and like I thought it looked cool, and then like you're getting bullied for a backpack. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But the fact like is like
It's just a bottle.
right, but then like it's so expensive. Like there's always gonna be like kids like you know what I mean? Like okay, there's a couple things I'm gonna say, right? Especially young kids, right? Right.
Yeah,
Hey, because this was when we grew up. I don't even know if it's still when well now they're kids because I don't know, right? There's a couple
right.
things, right? First of all, not every single parent is like the richest parent. Like they'll sit there and like, oh yeah, I'll definitely spend $50 for a cup.
Yeah, no,
Right? So
they
like,
definitely won't.
right, exactly. Fam, if I told my parents I want $50 for a cup, there's ain't no way they're gonna be like, yes. Because remember, like I'm talking about young school kids, whatever, right?
Yeah,
They're not the one purchasing it. Okay.
true.
Second of all, right, the kids get jealous of other kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course,
So like,
totally.
imagine if some kids like, yo, I got this cup, and like, oh no, and like, I get jealous. You can go up to ask your parents like, oh, can you give me the cup too? And they look at the price, they're like, no, bro. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
true.
But then like, it's just like jealousy, like in young kids, like is absolutely like brutal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In
you
my
can't
opinion.
really stop it.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly. Because that's something like everyone gets jealous, but like I think it's just with younger kids, like it's it's more whatever, and
it's
then like
because it's
some
because like what all their friends have it, and they
correct, like
you
if
see
either
them
all your
every day
friends
and
have
all
it,
that.
or like other people tease you for not having it, or people
Yeah,
like unless you have it, we're not friends. You know what I mean, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
true.
And then like you sit there, it's like kids are just trying to make friends with other kids. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like
Yeah,
nowadays, like right, like it's so easy not to get jealous nowadays. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
I guess. Yeah,
Well, in my opinion, like there is some stuff like I'm gonna get jealous. I'm gonna get jealous of Elon Musk owning a plane, bro. Of course I am.
I mean, like for us, I thought like for kids, I don't know,
No, no,
it'd
I'm
be
talking about
even
for
more.
us. I'm talking about for us, right?
Oh, for us, it's way easier. You
Yeah,
just
like I
don't
sit
get.
there like I sit there like right, like I sit there like I just said, like I get jealous of Elon Musk owning a plane, for example, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then I don't
yeah,
sit there and
yeah.
I'm like, I have to go get a plane. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
it's not for like I just see on the internet, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not really an IRL. I'm not jealous of him owning a plane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, 'cause I don't need one, right? But what I'm saying is like, it's like I sit there and like I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get like any like there's no I don't like it's like it's not it's gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? I've got my own friends like you know what I mean? Like I sit there, it's like is me owning a plane gonna make me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know like do you kind of get what I'm saying? Look, it's like back in the day when kids were playing Beyblades and you didn't have a Beyblade, you couldn't play with them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, dude, it's a cup, fam. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a cop. It's
It's
not.
it's
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 not
not a
even a
toy. It's
toy.
not like the newest craze toy when you're young or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's
And
just a cop.
that's just with young kids. When we get like teenagers and other stuff, like I don't know like what they're thinking. You know what I mean?
True.
And remember, like the Santa Cruz going through all people. Like there'll be adults and stuff. Like you know what I mean? But now
Right,
with
but like
adults, it's completely
those
what?
people have their own money
Exactly, exactly. At this
and
point,
all
like
that.
you purchased it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You purchased it, right? You
You
purchased it with your own
purchased
money.
it with your own discretion.
What do you say?
I was like, under your own discretion, all
Correct.
that, it's
Yeah.
fine.
You purchased it, yeah. But then like
Kids
I don't
is
think
different.
adults, yeah, will go brag to
Yeah.
other people that they've got a cup. You know what I mean?
No, for the most part, they're just like, yeah, it's a good cup.
Well, yeah,
And
but like
that's
I
it, or
sit there
something.
you,
Or
you
I
know
don't
what I
like
mean?
this
Like
cup,
I
or something
wouldn't
like that.
like if I'm an adult and I
Yeah.
own the cup, I'm not gonna go up to other guys like, oh, you don't have one. That's more kid stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, of course.
yeah,
It's not mature.
right, exactly,
Go on,
exactly.
yeah.
Which is why I'm like kind of scared like in how the future's going. You know what I mean? Like if we get more and like it's gonna be like it's now it's a cup, right? And then next week you're gonna tell me it's like a pen. You know what I mean? You don't
I
have this
mean,
pen. It's like,
like,
bro.
don't don't be surprised. Kids, look, if there's a crave, kids will
Yeah, I
just
know, but like
want it.
I'm scared. Like as in like if these people right or these kids right go into society as that and then
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Because at some
I
point,
mean, look,
yeah, at some point, yeah,
yeah.
it's like how do you say it? Like let's say at some point, right, your kid get like let's say gets ostracized or whatever, like left out of the class because doesn't have the cup. Like the parents gonna eventually go and end up getting the cup or something. You know what I mean? 'Cause they don't want their kid left out. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Well, well, I don't know how bad. I don't think it'll get to that bad, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure there'll be other kids that
Mm,
don't have the cup and they'll be like, "Yo, we're friends," or "Yo, we're chill." You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
mm.
But yeah, if it
It's
gets that
just
bad,
like
like it
eventually,
just bends. Like I don't know.
it'll just eventually die down, or if it doesn't, parents and or teachers will do something about
Right,
it.
exactly. No, this is where
I
like
just,
where it's like if it is a problem in schools, like this is when like the ban hammer comes down. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, but the thing is, it's not like a toy; it's a bowl.
Right. That's the problem.
It makes
That
it
is the problem.
odd.
Like, let's say
I can't really
you ban
ban a
cups,
bottle.
right? Let's say you're banning cups. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get what I mean?
Well, you can imagine in
Like,
this weather, you're just gonna let the kid faint? No.
exactly, exactly. It's exactly. Like for us, like I think the
It's
worst,
keystroke
like
weather
when
around
we
here.
were in school, like I think it was like just Pokemon cards or like the rugby card that like kids were flipping.
Bakugan.
Like it was just all this weird stuff like they were
Yeah,
banning.
rugby.
Mm,
Bakugan, I think, because he had Frodo's
mm.
and other stuff like
Well,
that.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
I think like we didn't argue over those. Like the problem with like Bakugan was like people
Yeah.
like they were scared that we were pegging them at other kids, like because it was a dangerous item. But no one
And
did that.
trading him and
What?
stuff as well.
Yeah,
Trading like
trade was different. Like
yeah.
because I remember like when rugby came, like the rugby card came out, like people were like you play and then like
No,
you
yeah, the
trade
no
up.
takes back or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You trade up,
Yeah.
and then that became a craze in our school. It's like, yeah, and then like, you know what I mean. You just sit there, you're collecting. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
surprised Beyblades were never banned. Beyblades was the one thing that didn't get banned at school, which is so odd. Because you think that'd be like, because that has so much stuff involved, more than everything else. But it's like, no, no ban.
is it because
I
no
don't
one
know.
traded Beyblades? A
I
like
think
that?
everyone was just
Or,
so like, ah, you want to play with my Beyblade here, you can play with it, kind
yeah.
of thing. Just give it back, and they just give it back, kind of thing. I don't know. Just never, or like no one kind of complained about, it, kind of thing.
Mm,
At least for me, because when that was happening, I was like in year 6, I think, like so
mm.
long ago now. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then at that point, you 6 when the next year, you transition to high school. So at your old school, maybe it was banned the following year. Who knows?
You never know, but
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
it was
Yeah.
so, it was much more organized. Like people would put like the thing, like the little
Well,
tray or whatever
to
you
be
play with.
fair, right? Uh,
Yeah,
back in the problem is that every time we say back in our day, right?
yeah,
Right, and we're not even talking that many years ago, like I like 15, 16 years ago, something along those lines, right? Uh
yeah,
society was
maybe
completely
even less.
different. Society was completely different, right? So
True.
like no, it's like I'm being serious. Like which is like there are good things and bad things like now, right? It's like you know what I'm saying? Like as in now when young kids like we actually take like emotional a lot, like you know what I mean? We you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like the study of psychology and all that stuff like tells like someone's emotion is like important, because back in the day like it'd be like the parents way or the highway, you know what I'm saying, whereas now like it's
Yeah.
best like to understand everyone's feelings, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a, but then also back in the day like when we were in primary school, iPhones didn't exist, TikTok didn't exist, all this stuff didn't
Yeah,
exist.
social media wasn't a
Right,
thing.
social media was like very limited, and then like as we grew up, like we grew up with the social media. Whereas now, kids like and as they grow up, like they already have social media with it. So you know what I'm saying? Like as in which social media a like puts in like how do you say it right? Puts in the
Like,
flame, you kind of get what I'm saying, like as in like
yeah,
oh
like,
like the Stanley
oh,
Cup, everyone like once it's on social media, bam, everyone's now talking about it. You kind of get what I'm saying?
all my favorite TikTokers, for example,
Right,
have
exactly,
it or
exactly.
something.
And
Yeah,
then
like,
like I said, like the emotional aspect of it, like now that we treat emotional like more than it was back then. Back then,
yeah,
like something happened, to be like, oh man up, you know what I'm saying? Or like, hey
true.
man, like you know what I mean? Like straight up, like you kind of get what I'm saying?
I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right now it's like, oh, like you know what I mean? Like, we dance around that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, your
True.
emotions are important, which I do think yes, emotions are completely important, but like sometimes it leads to the wrong direction. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like you don't have a stand cup, like oh, like back in the day, if like imagine we had stand cup back in, and we were in like our like primary high school, whatever the school period we're in, right?
Yeah,
Right? You sit there and like, oh, if you do have a stand cup, you know what I mean? Let's say like I got A, I don't really care, right? Happens, right? Or
yeah,
B, yeah, right? Like I do
yeah,
care, right? But then I sit there, like I ask someone, hey man, like you know what I mean? Like what do I do about this? Like you either like man up or you get your own cup, you know what I'm saying? And then I sit there, my parents say no, no, it's the end, that's it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I
yeah,
said, like it's back then 90% of the time it's like your parents are correct, like you know what I mean, follow whatever, you know what I mean. Nowadays you sit there, it's like the kid will keep like you know what I mean, like oh like take your kids into consideration, blah blah blah, like you know what I'm saying. And then at the end like the parent might end up caving in and get a cup or some shit, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean.
yeah. True, but also I do want to like add on that,
Right.
like even back in the old day when we see something like, what is that? Like half the time, like it's in, like now is like for most of the stuff you hear from social media. Like back in the day, if you saw someone bring something in, you're like, what is that? I've never seen that before. What is that? Or I might have
Exactly,
seen that in the
yeah,
stores like
exactly,
once.
like yeah, like it's like when someone brings in something,
Like all
what is
these,
that?
like the footy cards, the first time you probably saw it was in school. You know what I mean? Or in the
Right,
shop,
hard,
simple like
like
that.
like exactly. But then
We're
like you
not gonna
sit
see
there,
that online because that didn't exist.
right? Exactly, exactly. Which
So
is
just
weird,
like, yeah,
actually. You know what I mean? Which is it's very weird
it adds like a
because
weird
like
twist
yeah, because
to it.
like how the hell did it get? One guy brings it, and everyone else bringing it. Like that was weird. Like you know what I mean?
I guarantee it's advertising. Advertising instantly hits to the
Well, yeah, no,
children,
but
like
that's
they're
not what
watching TV.
I'm talking.
Porn.
I'm talking about like the fact that like let's say someone like, but it wouldn't start until someone actually brought it, right? Let's say everyone
Brings,
owned it. Like if no one brought it, yeah, it wouldn't be crazy
yeah,
in the school. You know, we'll talk about the cup because everyone brings cups, right?
yeah.
Like that's completely different. I'm talking about like if you're bringing an item, you know what I mean? Well, an
I
item
think
outside of what?
it's like someone sees it, has it, and realizes like I can just bring it here. No one like there's no reason I can't. And then they bring it, and then more people start realizing
Right,
that.
right, yeah. But I'm
And
saying is like,
then yeah,
it's like if that item was outside of like what would you normally bring in like school, high school, whatever, right? Do you got what I mean?
yeah,
You kind of know what I'm saying? Because like for example,
yeah. I
right?
get what you're saying.
Was like it's like now like the reason why the Stanley Cup like it's a problem. It's because like well I think it's a problem. Because like it's not like it's not an outside item. You know what I'm saying?
It's something you kind of need to bring to school.
Right, right. It's a
You need
water,
water.
bro. Like water is important. You know what I mean? No one is going to
Yeah,
drink from like the water that the school offers, like the stupid like water fountain or the
bubbler.
bubbler thingies or the
Yeah,
stickers. Like they're gross, right? So you want to have a bottle, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So like that's why you sit there. It's like you sit there. It's like so you know what I mean?
right. It's so weird how a kid got bullied over it, like, bro.
Well, I don't even think it's one. Like I think there'll be multiple instances. You know what I mean? It's just that one that was reported on.
This reminds me of the meme where it's like kids wouldn't survive MW2 lobbies.
Dude, kids wouldn't survive a lot of things in our time.
It's like,
Nowadays.
no, true.
Yeah, it's so true. Like the NW2 lobbies back in the day, yeah, because like now, like you say something, it's your banned, bro. Like in any game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, different times. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Anything else, I guess, about the Stanley Cup or
Uh, I feel bad for like the actual Stanley Cup because I looked it up. It was like some sort of like hockey cup. So like I feel bad like
ah,
they're getting dragged through the mud through this. Uh,
I guess
yeah.
it is quite odd and funny.
Dude, it wasn't. It's funny because like it wasn't even like taken. The inspiration wasn't taken from that. You know what I mean? They didn't be like,
No,
oh
it's
yeah, like
just
you know.
the brand.
Well, that's just because like that was like the branding of like the store. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah,
Stanley or something. You know what I mean?
they decided to make a cup,
Oh yeah, they
and
just
for
made a
some reason
cup and
it's
like it's
marked.
gonna be called the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean?
And it has a unique design, I guess, and
Well,
they
yeah,
just took
it's funny
took
because
off.
like it's weird because like the Stanley Cup for the hockey wasn't trademark. Like that's something that I think should have been trademarked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Yeah, it's that is so weird. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
a like it should have been trademarked. So like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like there isn't another like trophy that's called also like Stanley or something. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
guess.
there's a whole bunch of reasons. Like, well, maybe the reason why it's not trademarked is because like there was a guy like a famous player was Stanley, and they're like, all right, let's make the cup in his honor or something. You know what I mean? So like they're not going to trademark the guy's name. Like, there's no way. You know what I'm saying?
True, but also I don't know. Maybe they look. Some people they like sue people over like
Yeah.
stuff like this, and it's kind of
Well,
dumb. I'm assuming they
I don't
won't
think
do
the hockey
something
will
like
sue that.
that.
Like, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I remember once, what like Monster Energy sued like a game because it had like monsters in the name.
yeah,
Gods of Monsters, I think. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like,
That's
bro,
stupid
like
though.
dumb stuff like that. Yeah, this one's a bit more closer, but I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know. It's a trophy. I don't know. Can it get trademarked? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, Stanley Cup. Interesting product getting marked up because
do
of
you want to see a review of the
$60.
Stanley Cup? We'll buy a cup and we'll do a review.
I ain't spending 40
I'm
bucks on a car.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking, fam. Do a review of a Stanley Cup. Oh man, if it somehow
Bro,
lands in my lap, like if a cup like a Stanley Cup accidentally lands in my lap, I'll do a review. But like other than that, like
that's bro. You'll be lucky if you find one for like
well,
40,
if
50
someone
bucks
gifts
at
it to
this
me,
rate
like
now.
someone just sits there like, yo, like it's your birthday. Here's a gift. Well,
He's a
technically now,
Stanley
like a
Cup.
Stanley Cup would actually be a decent gift because it's actually like you sit there, right? Like in, I wouldn't gift a water bottle, but like you sit there, like you're gifting someone like a $50 item is actually like that's actually not like a bad gift. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
So now, like it's like a new gift option, technically. You know, I wouldn't be
You
happy
heard
I
it
got that.
first.
I wouldn't be happy with that, but like, you know what I mean? But it's like it's one
I
of
don't
those
know.
where it's like, oh, it's an interesting gift. You know what I mean? You sit there, it's like, you know what I mean?
I'm just interested if it's worth the money. That's all I'm interested.
That's why
If
I
it's
said
actually
product review.
worth it. See, the thing is that it costs money.
I know.
Like, I
That's
want
that's, that's
someone else to
why.
do it. Because it's like, I don't know, how am I going to review it? Oh, yes, it keeps my water cool. And then I don't drink from a straw. And it's just, it satisfies my needs, but it's $40. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a stand up, I guess.
Let's talk. Let's
Yippee!
let's let's talk about Suicide Squad. Let's go back to games.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
uh,
So a whole bunch of people played Suicide Squad at as like a preview, and we all knew it was gonna be bad, and
uh,
then they decided to
people
shit
said it
on it.
was
Yeah,
very
it was
boring.
bad. It was bad.
Yeah. Like, there was this repetitive content. Like, what you see in the, gameplay
Well,
trailer, imagine that,
so
but
the
just
best
repeated.
part of the game is the cutscenes.
Is the cutscenes. Yeah.
When you hear
Like,
that, you know that's not good. Well, that depends. Like you hear that the best part of your game is your cutscenes, but then it's like a fully just like story, pick your options type of game. When it's like that, it's like all right,
yeah, I
that has to be
mean,
the best.
that's different
That's
compared to
different.
a
But like
live
this is not
live
that type of game.
action
This is
not
not
live
pick your
action,
option
live
story. This is
service.
not your light novel s game. This is not your all right like I like choose your own adventure. None of that. This is a proper game,
A live service game.
a live service game, a looter shooter
Yeah.
game, a Destiny comparison game.
That has a story, and at this rate, you're probably just gonna watch the cutscenes on YouTube. I don't know, this it's an odd game.
Dude, it's such a like as soon as like it's so sad because like they actually had some decent Batman games before this game.
Decent. I mean, some people say great, amazing. I
But yeah, yeah, I
think
said
decent
decent
is
because
like,
I don't know what people said. Like I just heard like some good things. Like I don't know how good. So now you're saying good, amazing. All right, cool. They've got some
it's the
amazing
Arkham
game.
series.
Oh, oh yeah, this is the one that made the architect. I thought it was a different company. My bad.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they've made some amazing games. Okay.
Sam's genius for you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about Suicide Squad. Uh, and then like they
Uh,
acquire a popular IP. Like so many people like the Suicide Squad characters. Um,
I mean, they work with WB, so
yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's like a
and then it's like, all right, well, let's okay. Look, I get it. You guys want to go on the trend of looter shooters, right?
right.
Okay, fair enough. Go on the trend of looter shooters. You can do that. Like that's completely fine. You want to do like not looter shoot. You want to do. You have to make it looter shoot. But I'm saying is like what I'm trying to get at is you could have used like looter aspects or whatever. But what pisses me off is the fact that like you made a 4 player multiplayer game, right? I think it's 4 players max. If I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
Because there's 4 characters, so I'm assuming.
right. And then you sit there, and each character all have guns. So basically, characters don't really care. Like you sit there, it's not like when you sit there and you're gonna play. You sit there, it's like I'm gonna make this character because they've got different abilities. No, 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 no. They all have the same thing, just one different ability or two different abilities. You know what I mean?
It's like they have somewhat different abilities, but they kind of play the same. Like
That's
you're gonna
exactly what I'm
shoot
saying.
off
Like,
them and
dude,
all that.
what is his name?
Well,
Captain Boomerang like doesn't have a gun in like he never carries a gun. Now you're telling me he's carrying a gun and
yeah,
he's shooting? Like this guy's supposed to be throwing boomerangs. The shark guy is carrying a gun. He's got like massive claws. Why can't he just like sit there and like throw hands?
but Sam, it has to be a illusion.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have kept looter aspects, like looting to upgrade characters. Yeah, that would have been fine. But like you have to make it every single character the same. That's what you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's
maybe,
clearly a game
well,
that they had to make.
well,
You know
I
what I
know, but
mean?
like if the devs if the devs tell you like if you ask the devs why did you do that, and then their response is right, I kid you not, yeah,
Yeah,
so that you can play as your favorite character anytime because they all feel the same. It's like, no, dude, no. That is not
True.
the response. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm
Going
saying?
from yeah, I know, like going from like what Batman who plays so uniquely in all their games to now playing
No, no,
four characters to play almost
no. What I'm
exactly the
saying is like, so
same.
basically, right? Oh, like someone who plays like what's it called? Someone who plays like Harley Quinn all the time, right? And then you sit there, it's like, all right, I'm gonna move to Doctor Who and instantly pick it up. You know what I'm saying? That's not how
Yeah,
it's, you know what I mean? That's not how it's supposed to go. You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Like there's
You
supposed to
meant
be
to
at
put in
least
the
some
hours, you meant to develop it,
diversity.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Like
But
Marvel
see,
Avengers did this right.
well, what?
Like I was like, Marvel Avengers did this correctly.
Well,
Come on.
see, this is what like, and if the devs say, but what happens if like when you play multiplayer and you end up in a group of all of them are Harley Quinn mates? It's like, dude, that's why before you pick multiplayer, right? You pick the character, and then it just groups you with other people who pick different characters. That can be your solution.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense. Why'd you make the characters play the same? It made no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Even at that, you could make the characters easy to play, but hard to master, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So you
exactly,
can, like high
exactly,
skill ceiling, but it's not
exactly.
hard to grasp them. So don't know. Like I could instantly think of ideas like make your Shark Lad a tank,
I know, bro.
Captain Boomerang a quick just
I think
charge in
everyone can pick that
attack.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if devs throw out these excuses, yeah, those
yeah,
aren't excuses. What you basically did is that you wanted to make a third-person shooter game, right? With
yeah.
a whole bunch of popular characters, right? You add in some abilities to make it to make them feel different, right? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you were like, all right, go ahead, same gameplay, go loot, and then upgrade your guns. Like, oh, you know what I mean? You keep going just to go and upgrade your guns.
The thing is, though, you could equip them different guns. So what's even the point? Like, you
Well,
can equip
because
the same character with the same gun. You know what I mean? Different character, the same gun. So it's like, eh, you're making him play exactly the same
that's
with
what I'm
that, right?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
So dumb.
So we knew that were going to be terrible reviews, and these
Well, the
previews
game hasn't
confirmed this.
come out yet.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be
Yeah,
terrible.
like
I'm
the
saying,
pre-release.
but the
Yeah.
previews, yeah. So this is
Wait,
another
I'm not
Dead
sure
on
if
Arrival
you're.
game.
I don't know if you're actually aware of this, but
What?
did you know that there are the co-founders of the studio left and went and made a new studio with some of the developers from the other studio as well?
I
Did you
did
hear
not
about
know
that?
that. Is it they good devs?
So Rocksteady, the devs who are currently making Suicide Squad,
Mhm,
their co-founders went and opened a new studio called 100 Star Games,
mhm,
and they brought some veteran devs from the old studio,
mhm.
and they're also trying to hire some new devs.
Let me.
But it's like clearly, you know what? If the co-founders are leaving, it clearly says something. And opening a new studio, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Like it speaks volumes to something. You know,
it,
they might have not wanted
what,
to do this game, kind of thing.
when was the last like Batman game or like these these
20 would
because,
it have been 2017, 2018? When
because
did
like
Arkham Knight come out? That would have been their last Arkham game.
well think about this for a sec because like
2015.
remember what was it? What was the other one like there was the other
Gotham
multiplayer
Knights.
game? What?
Gotham Knights. Are we talking about
Yeah,
Gotham
when
Knights?
that came out was also Dead or Arrival.
Yeah, but that game like clearly had like other stuff in it, but they quickly took it out, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That's not the point. Like,
Like
I'm just like
so, yeah.
that's like what like a couple games now in a row where like WB has failed or DC
I
has
mean,
failed.
yeah, it's been a couple. I mean, the last good game was probably Arkham
Yeah, but
Knight.
how many years has
I
that
think
been?
2015 it came out, so 9 years.
Fair enough.
June of
That's my point.
2015.
What?
Yikes! June of 2015.
That is rough. That is rough. I'm not talking about like just one studio. I'm talking
I
about like in
mean,
DC in general. That is very rough.
they don't they own the people who also make whatchamacallit, Mortal Kombat. So I guess you could say Mortal Kombat.
No,
I don't know.
okay. Strictly Batman
Just
games, like
yeah.
like
Oh, DC. Yeah, yeah. They
the
haven't made a
universe.
good
Because
one.
obviously Mortal Kombat is different. Mortal Kombat's actually a decent game.
Yeah. No, yeah, because the last one was Gotham Knights that came out what, a year ago? Year or two ago? I didn't. It wasn't that long ago. Gotham Knights
Yeah, but
came
that
out.
was also a Dead
That
on
was not good.
Arrival. Like that game was ass.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, 2022. So it's only been less than 2 years. So other than that, which 2015. So, damn, it's been a long time, and they're not making good games now. But two different studios, clearly, like Gotham Knights and Arkham Knight,
Yeah, I know,
two
but
different studios, but still.
the fact that two different studios and they both struck out is wild to me.
Well, clearly, I guess I don't know. Clearly, it's the WB's like, oh, live action will make us money. Then, oh no, it's not. Quick, do something. What's our next game? Live action. Oh no! Oh no.
uh,
Maybe this will actually let them, not let them, maybe actually force them to make good games. We don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to
Um,
Unity. Let's just go to Unity.
Unity. Okay, cool.
Um, yeah, Unity.
Unity's like imploding still. I swear.
Yeah. Well, Unity, if you're a game dev, is supposed to be the most basic, like tool that everyone uses, and they just decided to buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Yippee! I
And
mean,
this is I'm not this is expected. Like, and the reason why I say it's expected because like a whole bunch of other IT companies and other stuff are also releasing stuff, uh,
true, of course. Yeah,
which decided to release a whole bunch of stuff. Um,
pretty sure Google as well
Google, yeah,
did
there's
the
so many.
same.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Amazon,
bring up
yeah.
like I don't know what to say other than the fact that I just wanted to bring it up. Yeah,
Do want to note though, it's not 100% surprising, especially Unity's last couple actions they've done.
yeah, no, Unity's
You
last
know,
couple actions
yeah,
stupid. All right.
like firing the CEO because of that. Yeah,
Any last
so
words
it's kind
on
of still
Unity
dying.
and on Suicide Squad? Because I didn't give any last word. I just abruptly changed it. Didn't want to talk about Suicide Squad
Oh,
anymore.
they're both still starting on
All right,
it.
there we go. You heard it here first. Mike's word of wisdom. They're both suiciding.
Just don't use Unity. Don't buy Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Maybe get on Game Pass if it's on it.
Hasn't
All right.
released yet. Hasn't released yet.
Well, when it releases, that's what I mean. You know, if it's on Game Pass when it releases. I mean, that's the only thing that's gonna get money.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
Let's talk about Ubisoft then. Okay. Ubisoft has been started to play baseball. They've hit a good hit, and then they've also struck out on a few things. So,
Yeah,
the good, their Prince of Persia game actually
yeah,
looks really good.
a
People said
surprising
that it's
banger.
good. I
Yeah,
may pick it up. Maybe. Uh,
maybe. I mean, it's out on all consoles.
yeah,
It has like how much? It had a really high score on Metacritic from
it's a very good
last I
game.
checked.
I've only heard
So
good things.
yeah,
Yeah, and Prince of Persia is actually like a very good IP. This is not the remake that everyone was expecting. This is a brand new game.
yeah. This is a new game. The
Yeah,
remake is still
the
being
remake is like
fixed.
who the hell knows where they've gone.
Okay, it has like what Metacritic? It has.
Right. The, yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it's like 86.
Hmm.
Generally favorable. Really good.
If
Universal
do you know the
acclaim.
good thing though is like if they're treating the Prince of Persia IP with this much like holy shit, this is incredible, right?
Yeah,
It like gives me hope that like they'll do like the and like people are generally favorable of it, right? It gives me hope
yeah,
that like Ubisoft will want to do the remake justice because like if this is going favorable, you know what I mean, and it's
yeah.
garnered more interest into the IP because it gets more fans because it's a very old IP, right? When they release the
Right.
remake, you know what I mean, it'll get you know what I'm saying. It
Yeah,
will
I get what you
generate
mean.
even more, right?
Maybe
Like yeah,
make more money.
exactly, but like that means they have to do a good job, and I think they will because if this is what's to go off, right?
Yeah.
Then it's exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that one's probably going to be slightly because that one's going to be what the Sands of Time remake.
Hmm. I
It's
hope
going to be
it sounds
slightly
like one of the better
different.
ones as well.
Yeah, because this one's like a 2.5D game. What's that? Sands of Time's like 3D.
Right.
But that needs a lot of because I mean, since we last saw it, it was not in a ready state, so
Correct.
it
Correct.
definitely needs lots of time. I
Right.
think it might have even changed studios since we last
Well,
heard of it, but I
dude,
could be wrong.
whatever happens to it happens to it. What I'm saying is like if they
If that hits,
if they put so much effort to make this right, I hope they put the same amount of effort, if not more, for the remake. That's what I'm trying to get at.
true. And they did have like a demo for this game as well,
Yep.
so that's good.
Hmm.
I wonder if they will do the same with the remake. So it's like, hey,
maybe,
if you like
maybe.
these two games, pick them up. If you don't, that's fine with us, kind of thing.
Okay. And then Ubisoft decides to strike out on this one.
Yeah,
They had a crazy statement saying, "We want you guys to not own games," basically.
like we want you guys not to be comfortable with the fact that you don't own games, something like along those lines. And it's what?
Which, look, I get what they're trying to say. Like, basically, they want to. They're saying this as in like they don't want to make more physical games. You know what I mean?
True, and like
They
subscriptions and all that.
right, like whether it be subscriptions or you pay. What's it called? You purchase like the game, like right, like some sort of subscription based service, right? Because even if you do
Right.
purchase them online, they're technically yours,
True.
technically, unless
Yeah.
you go and Ubisoft decides to go close down your account.
Yeah, which wouldn't be fun.
Which remember back in the day,
A bit ago, yeah.
which they said something stupid. So that's a scary prospect. You know what I mean?
It
You know what
is
I'm saying?
definitely yeah.
So
Phew.
well, just 100 reasons. Well, it's stupid, right?
Yeah.
But they probably saw how good Xbox's Game Pass was, right? And they were like, all right,
Right.
we can also do that, right? But the difference is like Ubisoft is just one company, you know what I mean? And like they're all not their games have not been the greatest.
True.
There are some incredible games. Like there are some incredible Assassin's Creed back in the past. There is like some decent like games as well. Recently, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, some
And they have
decent,
some
but
games
then you've got
currently
like
cooking.
some complete rubbish games.
Yeah. Ghost Recon.
Yeah, with the time savers and all that stuff. Basically, you did not have to make this statement. It made you look bad. It just made you look bad
True.
because basically, it's legit what Xbox is trying to do, but Xbox didn't say that statement.
Like you could have worded it
You didn't even have to word it, fam.
better.
You just didn't
Because
have to say it.
he just because the guy was just like, because this is like I think it was like an interview or something.
Yeah,
The guy was talking or something. You could have just not mentioned that bit at all. I
yeah,
think it would have
exactly,
just been
exactly. Like, what
fine.
I'm
Because you're
saying is
just
like,
talking about like subscriptions and all that, and then you
right.
mentioned
But
that,
what I'm
and
saying is the fact, like, first of all, this was stupid because it angered a lot of people, right?
yeah,
But I want people to know that basically this is what Microsoft is trying to do. Microsoft is trying to get people, so
true,
many people onto the Game Pass, but they never said that like don't own your games, and they never what's it called? They never stopped producing discs, games, and an online front where you can purchase your own games. Right? This is
right,
why this is scary because basically the way that they said it is basically telling us or indicating some sort of form of indication, right, that Ubisoft doesn't want to do all of those things, right?
right,
They probably want to move to some sort of subscription based or some sort of like purchase games, but like you know what I mean. Your account can be deleted or something like that. Something like that. You know what? Something along those lines, right?
mm. It's mostly probably subscription because
Right.
that's what the
Exactly.
guys have
Exactly.
been leaning on.
Right.
Yeah,
But they probably
because
want
like
to
that's
do right. What did you say?
sorry for cutting you off, but like if you look at the last like 5, 6 years of gaming,
Hmm.
you can see how like subscription have really just taken over a lot
Correct.
of like
Correct.
avenues.
Correct.
So
But what I'm trying to get at as well is that like yeah,
yeah,
uh, Ubisoft's not like what I'm saying is like I was just about to say something, but then I realized something because Ubisoft are not the manufacturer of the game discs, so it's not them like they're not saving money by like doing this. You know, move. You know what I mean? Because they're not the ones like
probably
making
not
the discs. You know what I'm saying?
true.
All the cartridges because it'd be like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft being asking for them to do these. You know what I'm saying? You get what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think that's. I guess that's how it work. I
Well,
guess. I
because
mean, for Nintendo, probably. I don't know. Maybe the Xbox and PlayStation if it's different.
well,
Because
yeah,
yeah,
but like
those.
it's
Yeah,
just
but
because like imagine you sit there and like Ubisoft like I'm not making disc games anymore. It's like well PlayStation and Microsoft well what the hell we want to sell this game. That's like a huge loss in profits for both of us.
well, is it? Wait, okay. I agree with your point
Yeah.
with one, but then let's look at this. Xbox has its Game Pass,
Well,
and then
no.
PlayStation has its
Sorry.
digital
When I say
one.
huge, I meant like it's a portion. Sorry, I meant it's a portion.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I don't 'cause
but
like
they're
obviously
leaning into as
right.
well.
Well, I say
But
the word
yeah,
huge, right? Like because like it's still a huge amount of money. I don't mean huge as in like relatively huge, like their like what's it called? How do you say it? In terms of their, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
terms
yeah.
of their portions. Like I don't mean like 60%, 40%, whatever these big numbers. I mean like a still huge amount of money. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know how
Right.
many millions or how many hundreds of millions will be lost. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But that's still a lot of
If
money.
anything,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if anything, they would be more concerned if it wasn't on their storefront. Like, oh, you're not selling it physically? Are you gonna at least put it on the Game Pass
Yeah,
or
no,
Xbox
exactly,
Store
exactly,
or
exactly. But
PlayStation Store?
yeah, but why
If they say
I'm
no,
saying
then they'll be like,
why I'm talking about physical discs, right? Why I'm talking about that, right? Is because
yeah,
why I say this and not storefront is because like I don't know what Ubisoft's move, but like I'm saying like let's say you which I don't believe any of this or what I'm about to say, right?
okay,
Ubisoft, let's say, is the one making the discs for their games, right?
okay,
If they move to subscription, they save so much money because they don't need discs and people like putting the data on the discs. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I don't think they're the one making it, so they're not going to save money anyway. Do you get what I'm saying?
right. I
Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because like
I mean,
let's
don't
say
they
they
have to
make the game, they
package
just
it and
send it off to
stuff?
someone else. Like you know what I mean? They send it off to someone else, right?
But wouldn't they have to do the packaging and all that? Like oh, here's this code on, here's the
Like oh,
information
you
you
talk about
put
like
on
the
the front
box
of it.
art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's
So well, I guess they save a bit. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I've
I don't
actually
know who
no
does it.
idea. Like yeah, there's so much stuff I
It's
don't
kind
know.
of an interesting
Yeah,
question.
like
Yeah.
because I remember like there was an interesting question where like games online could technically be cheaper than games in store
Oh, it should definitely. Yeah.
because once you release a game, you put it on the storefront, anyone can download it or purchase it, right? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Whereas let's say you download it, you put a game, right? And just say you wanna make a game, right? And for the
Yeah.
disc version, you have to send the game out. Like someone has to put it on the disc, package it. You got to pay for box art, whatever. Then you got to pay for shipping because you ship it worldwide. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you got to pay
There's
so
much
much money,
more.
right?
There's much more processes involved, and when you
Right.
host on a storefront, just the game. Like, imagine you host a game on a storefront, right?
Yeah.
It's not just your game that's keeping the storefront up. There's like a bunch, so it's not like it's really like
Right. But
pulling
what I'm
anything
saying is,
down.
what I'm
It's just
saying is like, so technically, because you're not paying for all these extra expenses, yeah,
no, you're not. Yeah,
yeah, you're not. So like,
so it should
technically,
be cheaper.
it should be cheaper, right? But
Yeah,
they put it at the same price because they want to make money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, of course. Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
because no, I sit there. It's like people can actually make the complaint, right? Like you can actually make the complaint that it should be cheaper on the store. Like you know what I mean? Like if we
Yeah,
take this to like if we somehow like take it to court or some shit, yeah. Uh,
yeah.
the chance of us winning is probably still low as hell because what's it called? Like um,
I mean, we don't know the exact
well,
processes.
I'm not. I will. The reason why is like that. Um, how do you say it? Like the
Lawyers.
company, whoever you're suing, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, can technically say, well, when we give it to them, right? Like,
They choose the price.
yeah, it will. The store may put the game on discount, for example, right? Well, I don't know.
True.
I don't know the process of what happens to put a discount. So they're like, all right, we want to sell the game at full price on our storefront to make out the loss on that side. You know what I mean? They can say that,
Yeah,
right? Because like technically, when a game releases here in Australia, like you look at like physical games, you can legit like check a couple different stores. On the prices are completely different at like 3 or 4 different stores.
yeah.
So I don't know how game prices are set. You know what I mean? I don't know how game prices are set. You know
I
what I mean?
think it's
'Cause
based on well, physically it would be based on how much stock they have
correct, but like for
for the
example,
most
like
part. Yeah,
we've got like EB Games, right, which sells that at the full price that like the company probably wants them to sell it. Then you've got like what's it called? Then you've got like Big W and like
JB Hi-Fi.
JB, all that stuff. They sell it at a relatively cheaper price. Sometimes
Yeah,
$10,
usually
sometimes
10,
fifteen
20.
dollars cheaper. That makes a huge
Yeah,
difference. You know what I mean? That's a huge difference. You know what I mean? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Which is like it's like maybe they try to recoup by saying that, right?
Hmm.
But in my opinion, yeah, if they let's say let's say they well, I'm gonna say the companies do decide to put a game cheaper because instead of physically releasing the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
They watch
well,
put it online.
like they put it online at a cheaper price, for example, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
more people be inclined to purchase it online than purchasing the physical disc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
B, less demand for physical disc becomes. They end up actually saving money on physical
Money.
because, like, let's say instead of making 1 million, you make 500,000 because less people are like purchasing it, and then therefore your total expenditure decreases. Yeah, so technically you end up even making even more profits. Do you gotta get what I'm saying?
True.
Do you know what I mean? But then,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah, but then obviously there's always gonna be people that like physical anyway.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But it's like
Physical
balancing
media.
this out, you know what I mean? Because, like, for example,
Yeah.
I like physical because I like to own a disc, right? But then, like, I
Right.
only purchase digital if there's a massive sale on and I find the price crazy cheap, yeah. And I sit down like, all right, whatever. B, the game doesn't have a physical disc. At the time Cult of the Lamb released, it was only digital only. So once I purchased it, a couple months later, they decide, oh, we're also gonna release a physical copy. You know what I mean? Hades, I
Yeah.
also purchased like the same thing. Hades at the time, there was no physical. I bought it online. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's the only reason I buy it, like digital, right? Oh, the other
Yeah.
reason is
I
like
mean,
the PlayStation monthly. If there's PlayStation monthly games, that's like a free game. I'll download it. There's a whole bunch of other reasons why, but like basically, if I'm purchasing a game digitally, these are the only reasons.
PC is also another reason they don't use disk drives, to be
Correct.
honest.
PC,
So
PCs,
just yeah,
PCs. But I'm talking about
or basically 90%
I don't
online.
purchase on PC.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my experience, right?
True.
Uh whereas uh, which is why, like, imagine if the game was always cheaper on digital, I would never go to a store and buy a physical game, right?
Yeah,
Because
but
it saves me
they
money.
also want money.
Saves
It
me
saves
money.
money, but the companies want money, I guess.
Well, and yeah,
And I mean, I don't know, I don't know, maybe Sony and Xbox are more inclined to have a game that's $60 on the front of the store than, I don't know, a $30 game. I don't know. Maybe because they get more of the cut. That makes
dude,
sense.
I think it's more complex than that. Like, okay, even though we're just saying like,
Well,
the,
everything is more complex.
well, yeah, more
I'm always
complex. Like,
saying.
how much are they paying the devs like to host the game? You know what I mean? How much of a
Yeah,
cut does the devs get? There's all these questions. You know what I mean?
right.
There's all these questions. I'm just like simplifying it the most simplest way I understand. I think like
Yeah,
because like when you simplest the simplest way I simplify it, right, is that when I put it on the storefront, I'm not paying all these extra fees such as like box art, box purchasing boxes. You know what I mean? Purchasing like inputting things on the CD or Blu-ray or whatever, right? Then shipping it
yeah.
to all these different countries. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, because like yeah, well, it's like also you could if you think it the other way around, it's also you just say yeah, maintenance of like a server that just has everything. Like all the games are going to be paying something, like all these game developers just to host it will probably pay a fee, and they'll just pay it off. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't
Because
know
the
because
maintenance of a server is dog cheap.
well, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say
it
dog
probably
shit because
costs cheaper than.
remember, like it's your own server, by the way.
Oh, I mean, it's yeah, but I mean, imagine it be. Is it? Look, is that cheaper than or making 2 million copies of a disc?
Well, it's obviously hosting server. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, yeah. That's our point. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It is cheaper just to have on a server than compared to
I
it
don't know.
having on a
I
disc.
don't know. I don't know. Like there is so
But
many.
they'll just price it the same anyways.
Like I would love to get like someone who understands the ins and out and like just to get you know what I mean, because
I mean,
obviously as a company you want profits, you know what I mean. So like there's
yeah,
gonna be obviously like there's gonna be bits where they're like we can technically do what we just mentioned, which is lower the prices there, right? But why would you do that? People are already paying this amount anyway.
yeah. And remember, you remember how publishers recently were like, "Oh, let's make games 100 now."
Yeah, there was like
Like,
a
why?
hundred.
Like, you always do. Like, why? Like,
People will purchase
it's
that.
not.
I don't
It's
know.
not worth 100. I'm gonna be honest. It's not worth 100 at that rate. I'll start just banging these.
Well,
Unless your game's
no,
really that good, it's not worth.
actually, I was watching some. I was reading an article and I'm watching it. I see people speaking about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some games that are worth 100 USD, right?
Yeah.
And I don't blame them, right? But then there
True.
are there are games that you sit there, yeah, that are not worth 100, right?
No, clearly not.
Which I'm saying, like, let me give you an example, right? Suicide Squad's gonna come out at a full price $70 game.
Right.
It is not worth $70.
No. it
But you
is not.
sit there, right? God of War comes out $70. Technically that game can be worth 100. Elden Ring comes
Yes.
out, it's technically worth 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These games are
I'm just saying the standard shouldn't be 100.
no, the standard
If you
definitely
get
should
what I
not
mean.
be 100. But I'm saying is there are games, yeah, that are like so good that are like, you know what I mean? If you price them at 100, people would purchase them at $100. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But then
But we're
there will be
talking about
times
we're
what?
talking I'm saying we're talking all this in like USD as well.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
So it'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
way more
Way
for
more
us as
for
well.
us will be even more. But what I'm getting at is that like right, it's like if you price pointed God of War right at $100, right? No one
Yeah.
will complain. No one will complain because it's an incredible game, right?
True.
You know what I mean? But if you price pointed, let's say a game like Suicide Squad comes out, yeah, dog shit game, you price pointed that at $100, like no one's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my question is like, that's what I'm saying. Like there are games that yes, they are worth $100, right? And people will probably purchase them at $100, right? But then there are
Yeah.
games like if this became the standard, there are games like dude, FIFA, NBA, and 2K, whatever it's called, yeah. None of these
Yeah.
games are worth $100.
True. No, they're not.
Right, but these are the
You know what?
games that do you know what I mean? Call of Duty comes out, that's not worth $100.
I decided just to go on Steam, just to double
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
For in Australian dollars, Suicide Squad to pre-purchase is $105 Australian. That's not worth it.
No, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
no.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the problem is that like indie games generally understand their value of their game better than you know what I mean.
Triple A.
Dude, Power World could have came out $50 and I would have purchased that 50. It's I think
True.
it looks like a $50. Well, if they polish it, let's say like it came out not their beta access or alpha access or whatever access, early access,
Like
right? Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like let's say they're fully published game. If they sell at $50, I don't think so many people. I think people would still buy that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's what I'm saying because that's how good of a game it is. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you release an incredible game, yeah, I think you deserve to put your game at a reasonable price, right? You know what I'm saying? If you release a game, yeah, that's 12 hours long, right? I think you deserve to put. I think it should not be the same price as a game that you release at 6 hours. And I believe that a game is not how do I say it? I don't know. There are multiple different like games. But what I'm saying is that I'm not sure what I'd be saying here. I think we're
Ah,
getting some sort
wait.
of voice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, my ping died. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
back. I was
Did you
saying
hear
something. I
anything
don't
what
know
I
if you.
said?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
So
don't know what you
basically,
said.
what I said, I'm
So
gonna repeat it. Yeah. Of
yeah.
course, it's a scuffed podcast. Uh, if you release a game that's 12 hours,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be priced the same as a game that's 6 hours.
Yeah. Shouldn't.
If you release a game that's like 50 hours, it shouldn't be. It's the same 25 hours. But we live in a world where, like, if it's a triple A game, all of these would probably price at the same price.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
What I was saying, because like I don't know if
mm,
you heard
mm,
me,
mm,
because it
mm.
probably didn't cut
Yeah,
me
yeah,
off.
yeah. Go ahead.
But basically, what I was saying is a reason probably why these AAA games are also costing so much is probably because the budgets are getting bloated.
Correct,
Like,
correct. And
you
like,
know what I
look,
mean? Because indies are making on relatively small budgets
correct,
games
correct.
that are really good. Well, like AAA, they could just okay, let me spend money on something that's relatively like something that may not even be implemented in the game, but it
Yeah.
could be a lot of money budget wise. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
No, no. And I don't blame you. I don't blame them, right? I don't blame
Yeah,
them, right? Because owning like an IP such as the Batman IP is not cheap, for example,
true. Yeah,
right? Or using an IP is not cheap, whatever, right? What I do not blame you is though like that, like yeah, um,
yeah,
like because they can set the price whatever they want, right?
yeah.
What I'm saying is though is that no one will buy Suicide Squad at $70, right?
Right.
No, well, no one will buy. Let's say the game. If the game releases at like $60, $50, for example, well, the game's ass. I don't even know if anyone will buy it at $50 or $60.
Hmm.
Okay, unless you're really addicted to looter shooters.
Unless you're like a Suicide
No,
fan.
yeah, unless you're
Or,
really addicted to looter shooters, you love
yeah,
Destiny, so you want to play this. Fair enough, right? But what I'm saying is like, in comparison, right? God of War Ragnarok, I think released at $70. Yeah,
yeah, I believe
no
so.
one complained it was $70. But if you raise it to 100, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and you sold it at 100, people will still buy it because it looks like a phenomenal game. You know what I mean? It's incredible. It's
yeah.
so good that like people will still purchase it. You know what I mean? Dude,
Hmm.
people will purchase anything if any game if it's incredible, whatever the price point is, right?
Right.
Right. For example, Elden Ring comes out. If it's $100, people will purchase it. If Rise of Kong came out at $100, no one's going to purchase that.
True.
Like that's a question. The question is like, see, this then becomes a question here that
What?
we live in a world where like triple A game, right, can
Yeah.
be one of the most masterful pieced game, or it could be one of the most holy shit that is terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We live in
Yeah.
like that, right? You know what I mean? No, there are still games that are good, like in between. It's like, hey, this is a good game, this is a great game, this is a mediocre game, but it's still good. This is not for me. This is for you. Not everyone needs to play it. You know, you got all those games in between, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the comparison that why are we selling or this I don't say why are we selling, right? You know, because we don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's say God of War could have God of War, right? For example, yeah,
Yeah.
it releases and it could have been like the worst. It could have been like one of the worst games ever, right? Like for example, it could have been like so bad, yeah, but no one knows it's gonna be bad, right? You know what
Right.
I mean? And imagine Kong comes out and it's like one of the greatest games ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't know. This price point is set way before the game is released. You know what I mean?
True.
So we don't know if like I just said, yeah, Pong comes out and it's an incredible game. Which came out and it was an ass game because it looked ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like God of War is we believe it's going to be a good game because of prior like how do you say it? Game releases prior all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? From all these previous
Yeah.
experience. But like
And
we
maybe
also
marketing and all
you
this
know what?
stuff.
But we also know that like a game even with previous experience, yeah. Like for example, the Suicide Squad, it had like Arkham Knight as its background. It comes out and it's complete rubbish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know
I
how
mean,
good. You know what I'm
you
saying?
don't know how good a game could be unless you're like, going through everything and like, if you analyze it, you can probably find out. But you know what I mean?
That's
It's
true. That's
just,
true.
but also, I would like to also add that prices for games also set an expectation of how it should be
Correct.
quality
Correct.
wise.
Correct.
Like Suicide Squad at $70, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think like
That
my
is not a
expectations like I'm
$70
gonna be
game. That is not a $70 game. That is
replayable.
maximum $30 max.
Well, yeah, but like imagine we just look at a price range,
Yeah.
price right,
Mhm.
price wise. You'd expect it's gonna have a lot of replayability. Maybe if you do $1 per hour, it's gonna have you 70 hours worth of content for you just for playing wise. But you actually look at the game, it's not really doesn't really offer too much replayability wise because it kind of feels samey. You're gonna play it for maybe a couple hours and then put it down, and that's not worth $70.
Well, see, when you say how many hours, how long's the story? That's completely different. Yeah. If you
Well,
complete the
no, not
story,
even the story, it's just how much you're gonna play it. You know what I mean?
yes.
you could finish it maybe on 100%, or you're just playing it like because it's a looter shooter. It's a live
Right, right, right,
whatever.
right.
So live service. So it's not gonna even after the story, it's gonna have
Mm,
stuff. But if it
mm.
doesn't capture you, you're just not gonna play it.
Correct, correct. That makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if maybe you don't even finish the story, you're like,
right.
"Oh, I don't like it."
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah, not worth the money.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Too many. Well, I don't know. We don't know about game pricing. Anyway, let's just end it here then. That was the
Yeah.
final thing we're gonna talk about. Any last words for anything? Anything can be from any last words you want to say. Uh,
Everything's too overpriced.
yeah, inflation hits. That's also another thing. Remember that can be another factor as to why prices are going up in gaming.
True, but they just recently were like, "Yeah, let's raise it to 80 or 70 or whatever," and now they want to raise it to 100.
Well, yeah, but I don't expect the
Yeah.
race to 100 to happen for another 3 4 years.
I don't expect it to happen for another 10 years, and I hope it doesn't.
Well, yeah, no, but like, yeah, that's fair. Uh,
Because if people aren't getting paid accordingly, I don't want to see it rise up. That's just me, though.
okay. Anyway, then, I think that's it. Anyway,
Yeah.
anything else? Watch out other stuff. We've got some other
Nah.
stuff planned. We've actually got a whole bunch of interesting videos coming out. Lots of fun stuff coming. And yeah,
Like, subscribe, enjoy.
I think
That's it.
see you.